Everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another very empowering edition of the Thrive with Alpha series. It's brought to you by Alpha, that's Union Bank's value proposition for women. We are thrilled, particularly, to have you join us today. My name is Olufunke Omotosho. I head Central Processing Center at Union Bank. Today's session is titled Accelerate Your Growth, Strategies for Women's Success. In this very interactive session, we will explore actionable steps to enhance your career and business growth, improve your financial well-being, and build self-confidence. This webinar aims to provide valuable insights, empower you to act, and foster a supportive network for women in business and organizations. We are particularly honored to have a panel of seasoned speakers who bring a wealth of experience and expertise. Our esteemed speakers, Anne Nwaokolo, Olubunmi Oyekon, and Funto Iboye will lead discussions designed to equip you to achieve your full potential, personally, professionally, and in business. So whether you have a clear vision for your future or are still charting your course, you are in the right place, that I can promise you. I know we're all eager to hear from them. However, before we go into the session, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions during the session, please click on the Q&A tab and type your questions there. We will allocate enough time to respond to questions during that session. Now, please sit back, grab your notepads, and prepare for an insightful and transformative session. I'll be presenting our first speaker, Anne Nwaokolo. Just give me a minute so that I can be sure that you have it on the screen. So who is Anne? Anne is a senior information analyst and healthcare data analyst, and a dedicated advocate for women in data and tech. Interesting. She's a dynamic professional with a career across different sectors, including banking, digital health, and healthcare analytics. She offers years of expertise working in financial services, data analysis, project management, and strategic planning. Anne has continuously performed exceptionally well in positions requiring critical thinking, flexibility, and creativity, from spotting growth prospects to boosting productivity using data-driven insights. Her dedication to excellence and ongoing professional growth is evidenced by her master's degree and a certification as a project management professional. In addition, Anne actively supports women in their career aspirations by advocating for skills development and mentoring. She encourages others to embrace lifelong learning, create strong networks, and confidently seek possibilities through her work. As an experienced speaker, Anne is passionate about sharing tips on how to successfully navigate professional spaces while also achieving balance with personal life. She supports welcoming change and empowering people to reach their full potential. That's a full one. That's our first speaker, Anne Nwaokolo. I'll just take us quickly to the bio of the second speaker, Olubunmi Oyekon. Olubunmi Oyekon is an accomplished banker with more than 13 years of experience in credit risk analysis. She spent over 8 years at Stanbic IBTC Bank, where she developed her expertise in evaluating credit risk and providing key insights for lending decisions. Her work there laid a strong foundation for her career in the banking sector. Currently, Olubunmi is the head of credit risk analysis business banking at Union Bank, where she has served for the past 5 years. In this role, she oversees the credit evaluation process for commercial and SME clients, ensuring that decisions are aligned with the bank's strategic goals and risk management policies. Her extensive experience and sharp analytical skills make her a critical asset to the bank's credit operations. Her leadership has driven improvements in people, performance, and productivity, contributing to the overall success of the organization. Olubunmi holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Petroleum and Gas Engineering, as well as an MBA from the University of Lagos. She is a member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, a fellow of the National Institute of Credit Administration, a certified commercial banking and credit analyst by Corporate Finance Institute, and certified SME finance expert by Frankfurt School of Finance and Management. Already you can see that indeed we are in for a wonderful, wonderful time. Okay, our third speaker is Funso Iboye. Funso Iboye is a distinguished leader and accomplished professional who has made significant strides across multiple sectors. Currently, she serves as the Chief Executive Officer at 528, a prestigious global firm specializing in interior design, architecture, and property development. Under her visionary leadership, Funso spearheads a dedicated team committed to crafting transformative environments that enhance the quality of life, work, and leisure for individuals and organizations. As esteemed graduate of Covenant University, where she earned a degree in accounting with honors in 2010, Funso further distinguished herself by obtaining a Chartered Accountant certification in 2011. Her career commenced in the technology sector as an accountant, but her ambition and entrepreneurial spirit propelled her to transition into brand management at the renowned multinational corporation L'Oréal in 2016. Driven by a passion for innovation and excellence, she founded 528. Funso's remarkable achievements have garnered widespread acclaim across various prestigious platforms. In both 2017 and 2023, she was recognized as one of the most inspiring women in Nigeria by Leading Ladies Africa. Additionally, in 2020, Moguls Africa celebrated her inclusion among the 100 most inspiring moguls. The Richer Woman Incorporation further acknowledged her significant contributions by naming her one of the 100 most impactful women in 2022. These accolades underscore Funso's unwavering commitment and influential presence within our industry. In addition to her role at 528, Funso is the visionary founder of Recalibrate Academy, a faith-based business coaching initiative designed to cultivate kingdom-minded, profitable, and influential entrepreneurs who advance divine principles in the marketplace. Through her published works, coaching programs, and speaking engagements, she has positively impacted countless individuals and institutions around the globe. As an accomplished author, Funso has written 6 influential books, including the notable titles Recalibrate and Small Girl, Big God. She's happily married to Akinyade Iboye, Guys Baba, and together they are blessed with 3 children. Need I say more? I think at the beginning I'd said that we were in for a very wonderful time, and going through the bios of these 3 remarkable women, I'm sure that you would readily agree with me. I'm not going to take any more of your time. I'm going to be calling up Anne Nwankolo, our very first speaker, to take the floor. Anne, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm very fine. Thank you for having me today.
It's our utmost pleasure.
I'm very excited to be here, and it's great to be here speaking on effective navigation strategies to achieve success. Now, you've given my bio, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about myself, who am I, and my journey. And the reason I'm happy to talk about this is because I have a very interesting journey from my transition to being a banker or someone working in financial services to becoming an analyst working in healthcare. Now, I started my career in financial services. I studied accounting. I have a bachelor's degree in accounting. And after my bachelor's degree, I proceeded to work in the bank. I've worked in 3 different banks, 2 commercial banks and a mortgage bank. And during the COVID-19 lockdown 5 years ago, I decided to start a career in data analytics by, I got trained. I did a number of trainings. I was just passionate about upskilling, and then I became a data analyst, and I currently work as a senior information analyst working in the healthcare sector here in the UK. I'm also a very strong advocate for women in tech or people who want to start their careers in tech. And I work part-time as a trainer in data analytics, where I train people that are starting their careers in data analytics. Now, why is this topic so important? Why should we have these conversations? We are in an era where we're preaching about gender bias. We're advocating for gender equality. We don't want gender bias. We want more women taking up leadership roles. This is why we need to have these conversations. We need more women in tech. In the tech space, for example, women are highly underrepresented. So I'm always very passionate about speaking to people about getting more women into tech. Now, why is women's success in the business and career very crucial? When we as women, we do well in areas that people consider as or stereotype as not for women, we are not just creating more opportunities for other women, but we are opening other doors. We are making sure that we are showing that we are a good example, we are role models, we are able to do this. Because, I mean, people just assume that there are some jobs that women are not able to do or they can't succeed. So it's always very important for women to succeed, even in their businesses or in their careers. And then I'll be sharing today different strategies for growth and success, things that I have done throughout this time that have helped me to go from what I was before to what I am today. And the key strategy would be that at the end of the day, no matter what we talk about here or no matter what we discuss, every one of us have the power to shape our journeys. You have to take it in your hands at the end of the day. Next slide, please. Now, success, when we talk about success, where does it start from? You need to first have a growth mindset. You need to first be thinking, oh, I want to move forward in my business. I want to move forward in my career. That's the only way you can start identifying opportunities. You need to have like a mind that wants to grow. You can't be doing the same thing over and over and then maybe that is not working. You need to try something different. You need to want to grow. How do I take my business to the next step? How do I take my career to the next step? Do I need to gain new skills? By the time you start thinking that way, it's easier for you to identify opportunities. You need to now start observing, okay, what are the trends? Do I need to leverage on technological tools? Do I need to upskill or network? How much risk are you willing to take? Having a growth mindset will make you know exactly what you want to do. And then when you see opportunities, how do you seize opportunities even when it seems like it's out of reach? You network, you get information, you go out there, meet people. Your network, like I say, it's your network. At the end, it's your network, sorry. When you meet people, people tell you, oh, there's this opportunity in this place, there's this job coming up here, do you want to apply? There's referral, there's things like that. So even when sometimes you see some opportunities that it doesn't seem like it's reachable, having your network would help you to be able to achieve some things, basically. So next slide, please. Now, identifying opportunities. In the corporate world, for example, organizations are leveraging on digital transformation. That's a growth opportunity for different organizations. Now we have some bank branches where you go to where robots are attending to you. You don't really need to do anything. People are going from doing things the manual way to automation now. Everything is automated. We are going from keeping customers' files to having it digitalized. We are going from doing things the regular manual way. Everybody's leveraging on technology. AI now is taking over trends. The technology is something that is going to be evolving. Technology is something that's going to be evolving, right? And AI is not going anytime soon. So organizations are leveraging on it to improve their processes and to provide customer satisfaction. Now, in entrepreneurship, and as an entrepreneur, you should be conscious about providing service-based solution. Now, one thing that I've noticed a lot of small businesses do, they're not conscious about providing value-based service. Everybody's just about, oh, they want to make money, they want to make money. People are not conscious about adding value. Now, as a business person, you should be conscious about adding value. What are your customers' pain points? What do customers want? Now, for entrepreneurship, I always preach about people leveraging on technological tools or data-driven solutions. Me, I'm a data person, so I always preach about it. Now, I feel like some entrepreneurs can get feedback from their customers. You can send Google Forms to your customers, for example, ask them, oh, what product is your favorite product? How is our business helping you? When you gather that data, you can easily analyze it and see that, okay, your customers, this is exactly what they are saying. And then that way you can identify if your business is really adding value or not. And then for personal development, I personally have been on a personal development journey in the last 5 years, and I can tell you for sure that I am not the person that I used to be, because I have been intentional about gaining new skills. I have been intentional about continuous learning. Like, you need to know exactly what is happening. Okay, if maybe you've been working as a banker, now we're talking about technology. Can I gain skills in tech that would help me even in my work as a banker? If you're an entrepreneur, can I gain skills in tech that would help me to improve my business? Continuous learning, you need to continuously learn. You need to, training doesn't end. I'm somebody that's been working in tech, for example, and the fact that I can use something like SQL or Python doesn't mean that I should remain there. Now, organizations are moving into cloud-based solution. What would I do now as someone working in tech? I would go out there and have trainings in things like Google Cloud Platform, Amazon Web Services, just so that I can position myself in the right way for opportunities. And then it's also good to have side projects. Even if you're working, you have a 9-to-5 job, having a side project. I have a job, but I also work as a data trainer part-time, where I train people that want to start a career. So having those kind of side projects can also help you in your personal development. Next slide, please. And then networking strategies. Now, I've talked about networking a little bit, but I'm just going to talk about it a lot more now. Networking is something that has helped me a lot, and I preach about it a lot, because how am I even here speaking today is because of networking. It's from my network. So you have to be intentional about building a network. Be intentional. Think about, okay, what are even your goals? Before you start thinking about networking, have your goals. Be specific about what you want, so that when you go out there, even when you're approaching mentors or you're trying to get information, you know exactly what you're aiming at. And then attend industry events. I am someone that works in tech. I'm always attending tech conferences, data conferences, women in data. I go for these things, because that's the one way that I not only meet people, I also keep up with trends. I get information about what's happening out there, and then I leverage on things like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is I always laugh about it sometimes. I tell people that LinkedIn changed my life, and we laugh about it, but that's the honest truth, because LinkedIn took me from what I was like to somebody else. Like, I have a whole community of people that I network with, I engage with, I get information, I get opportunities, even job opportunities or training opportunities. I'm constantly engaging on LinkedIn. So it's something that I really encourage everybody to leverage on. Join professional groups, join in discussions. You get free resources if you want to get training and all of that. And then follow up on your relationships. Not just say, today you just come out of the blues and say, I want something from somebody. No. Follow up, just keep in touch with people, ask them how they are doing, and then give before you take. When I say give before you take, you need to be sharing opportunities also. You need to be sharing insights. You need to be, whatever knowledge that it is that you've gained, you need to be sharing insight. That would even attract people to you. And then you need to seek mentors as well. And mentors can be either your peers or your professional group. They can even be your friends. You need to be seeking mentors that would guide you, people that have experienced certain things. Those are things that would help your personal development. Next slide, please. Now, skill development. I've talked about skill development and the importance of continuous learning. Learning should never stop for you. You need to be out there getting trained. When I was working in the bank, we used to have a lot of free training, and some of it I took for granted, but now I'm paying for some of those trainings. You need to do training. You need to be constantly learning. Now, you need to ask yourself, what skills are in demand? Like I mentioned before, is it tech? Is it leadership? Do I need to do leadership training? And then when you're doing training, you can either pay for them or you can get free resources. Like I said, LinkedIn, you see lots of free resources where you can do some training. And then there's Coursera, there's Udemy. You can also get yourself involved in mentorship. You can be a mentor. At the same time, being a mentor also helps to build your skills too at the same time. Can I get the next slide, please? Next slide, please. Okay. Now, work-life balance. This one is very dicey, because work-life balance is basically being able to succeed both in your personal life and your professional life. your professional life should not suffer because of your personal life, and your personal life should not suffer because of your professional life. I used to struggle with this a lot, but I found some strategies that work for me. One thing that I do is planning. I make sure that I plan. I have routines that I follow. When it's time for my kids to go to bed, I put them to bed so that I can have more time. I know the time that I wake up in the morning, being able to, and then taking time off work is something that will help you to. When you've worked and there's lots of pressure, you need to use your leave. You have annual leave, go on leave, go on holiday, do whatever you need to do. By the time you come back, you'll be coming back refreshed. Prioritize your time, have time management, know how to manage your tasks. And then you don't have to do everything yourself. One delegation is something that you need to learn. You need to understand that I can't do everything myself. If you have a partner, you can call him and say, oh, help me. Can you help me do this with the kids? Can you help me with homework? Being able to delegate tasks and then manage your time properly. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be stressed out. You don't want to burn out so easily. So you need to know how to manage your time, delegate when it's necessary, understand when it's time for work. When it's time for work time is work time, home time is home time, family time is family time. Prioritize your kids, prioritize your family, spend time with them if you have to. Those are things that would even help you make you a better person even in your job role, and you can deliver your job and be successful in your job. So I think that's basically it. Basically all about it. And then actionable takeaways for today, I would encourage everybody to identify one opportunity in your space and act, and then connect with at least one person in your industry this week. Invest in yourself. I've invested in myself a lot, and no money is ever wasted investing in yourself. And when I'm talking about investing, not just money, invest time, invest in your business, invest in your career. And then lastly, find a mentor and become one. Whatever it is you want to do, find a mentor. There's never a time that is too late for you to start a new career or gain a new skill. All you just need to do is find a mentor. I have mentors, and mentorship never ends with me. I'm constantly looking for mentors and mentoring people. And then finally, implement one work-life balance strategy today. That will be the actionable takeaway. So if you can do all of these things today, I'm sure that you would see that each one of them would help you. So thank you very much.
Oh, wow. And thank you very much. That really was invaluable. So it seems to be a short session, but the nuggets that you have shared with us today are truly invaluable. And I'm trying to take as much as I can from these actionable takeaways, so that I can also begin to see how quickly I can catch up. When you were speaking, you said something that really struck. You said you have the power to shape your journey. And I like that. I like that because it means that, irrespective of what the past, the background, the history has been, the responsibility, the opportunity, and the power to, change lies in our hands. You also mentioned that give before you take. Give before you take. I think that was actually very insightful. Thank you very, very much, Anne, for sharing your wisdom with us. I'm sure you're still around because we would still need you when we start the Q&A. Thank you. Okay, up next we have Olubumi Oyekan. Bumi, I'm sure you are ready for us. I can see that you're good and raring to go. Bumi will be taking us through how to take control of our financial well-being and to secure a brighter future. Bumi, are you ready for us?
Yes. Good morning, everyone on the call, and thank you, Funke, for the introduction. Yeah, I'll be taking us through the strategies to take control of your financial well-being and to secure a brighter future. Generally, as women, we're perceived to be behind men in terms of so many things, and even in financial decisions. So it's increasingly become very important for us to, as women, to upskill our financial game, and to do this, we thought this financial literacy session is one that will help in achieving our financial freedom. So basically, the essence of this webinar is to take us on journey on financial skills like budgeting, savings, investing, debt management, and other skills that will help us to get financial liberation that we so much desire. And the benefit is unlimited. You know, it helps you as an individual to make informed decision. It helps you to avoid debt traps. It helps you to prepare and plan for the future, and especially for when we are retiring. On this journey, I'll be taking us through how to make money, when we spend our money, what to look out for, how to do investments, debt management, and of course, retirement. You know, generally, there are three ways that I have summarized on how to make money. Is either you're an employee, you know, you are working and you are earning money, monthly salary, or you are an entrepreneur, you have your own business that you're running, or you have inheritance. There are so many people that their parent, their grandparents has left some sort of inheritance for, and you're building on that for survival. Controller, if you go to slide 7. Okay, so for people who want to go the employee route, I think my co-panelist has talked about, you know, how to
Bumi, please check your microphone. We lost you.
Okay, sorry. I don't know where that cut off from. Okay, so I was talking about the benefits of financial literacy, which includes to help us make informed decisions, to plan for the future, to help us not to get trapped in debt and so many decisions that might hurt our financial well-being. And I said that my co-panelists, if you go to the next slide, you will see the highlights that will be running through. So the first on the highlight is money. Please go to the next slide. And I said, in making money, is either you're an employee who earns monthly salary, or you are an entrepreneur, you run your own business, or you have some sort of inheritance that you're getting, you know, to sustain yourself. But in all of this, you still need the financial literacy. I have seen instances of people who ran into money due to, from inheritance, and because they are not well equipped financially, in no time the money was out and they became broke. So it's important that we all are very equipped with financial tools that will help us in managing our money. And I said, as an employee, you know, my co-panelist has touched on some of the things that you need to prepare for, to do, to prepare you to improve as an employee, as an entrepreneur. You know, if you are looking for a job, you need to be job ready. You need to prepare your CV, prepare for interviews, you know, connect, network, be present on online platforms like LinkedIn and the likes. Put yourself out, be visible. And if you want to boost your career, you need to consider aligning yourself with the organizational goal. You need to continue to develop yourself. You need to have a mentor. And I think my colleague has talked about that, so I don't need to touch more. Please go to the next slide. I think the next 2 slides now. We'll move quickly. Yeah. So on spend, so we talked about money. So is that you're making money as an employee, as an entrepreneur, or you have an inheritance? In any case, you need to position yourself well to continue to improve in your money making. As an employee, to continue to get promoted at your job, which will translate to increase in your monthly earning. As a business person, you need to be excellent at your business. You need to get loyal customers that will refer you and increase your sales. Then how do you spend money? It is very crucial. So making money is one, but how do you spend your money such that the money you have struggled to make are effectively put to good use that can even make your money making improve or make you have a better future financially? So you need to consider this kind of your spending habit. You need to consider the kind of assets you deploy your money to. Is it good asset? Is it bad asset? You need to also have a clear budget that will guide you on how to spend. I've tried to put up a summary budget that shows a 50-30-20 rule that says you should channel 50% of your income towards your needs. Your needs are those things that you need. They are critical for your survival. Your housing, your food, transportation, rentals, the things you need to get by daily to even be able to make your money, they are your needs. And the rule here says allocate 50% of your income to that. Then you have wants. Wants are things that you can do away with. Maybe you want to go on vacation, maybe you want to go and eat out at a certain restaurant. There are things that you can actually do away with. There are things that I consider luxury. So apportion your income appropriately to these ones, and then you need to apportion part of your income to savings and investment. You can't eat all your money. Even after you've taken out money for your needs and wants, there has to be something for your investment. And I need to state here that there's no one size fits all in setting your budget. When you are setting your budget, let it align with your own reality. So maybe it's not 50, you don't need up to 50% for your needs. It might be 30%, maybe for your luxury, it might be 20%, and you put the bulk of your income into your investments and savings. Apportion it according to your own reality and continue to review and readjust. You know, the economic outlook continue to change with different indices every now and then. Make sure that you revisit your budget and align it with the current reality at every point in time. Please go to the next slide. Okay, so the third point is value. Value is how you give, you know, you make your money become much more than what it was. It helps you to stay ahead of inflation. It helps you to build wealth. It helps you to prepare for retirement and to meet other financial needs, as well as help other people. And how do you give value to your money? It is by investing. Please go to the next slide. Value to your money is simply you investing your money so that you generate more income or capital appreciation. There are various types of investments that you can consider. We have asset investments, we have financial investments, we have business investments. Look at the appropriate investment that meets your need and put your money in it. Please move to the next slide. Okay, so these are other fundamentals of investment that you need to consider: the risk versus return, the liquidity of the investment you are putting your money in, the time horizon. You need to consider if you are investing, for instance, for a need, a short-term need, you need to ensure that you put your money in a short-term investment so that when you be getting value for that investment, it will be meeting the investment goal that you have set. You need to diversify your investment. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Ensure that you diversify your investment. Of course, you have short, mid, and long-term need. Spread your investment accordingly. Consider the compounding interest. What is the yield on the investment, and how does it make my capital appreciate? You need to also consider the benefit of whatever investment you're going into on inflation and taxes. Please go to the next slide. Okay, so these are points on how to diversify your investment. I think I touched on it briefly. Match your short-term financial goal to short-term investment, and like that, ensure that you align your investment with your risk tolerance. If you're a conservative person, don't put your money in an aggressive investment. Ensure you align the investment type to your risk tolerance. Choose your investment account appropriately and a broker that will help you to manage your investment very well. Please move to the next slide. These are, of course, some of the benefits of investing your money. I think we've talked on this over and over. It helps you plan your financial decision well. It helps your retirement and other financial needs that you might have in the future. Please go to the next slide. Okay, so we have debt management. So, of course, at some point in time, we might all have to secure debt to meet one need or the other. But it's important that you're able to manage your debt so that it does not become a burden on you. If you're already servicing a debt and it seems to be putting so much pressure on you, talk to your banker, talk to your lender, and find a way to negotiate or reschedule your debt so that it aligns with your current income reality. Look at ways to take off some debt. Maybe some of those debts are short tenor, interest are low, or different structure. Find a way to take out some very quickly so that the one that is maybe higher, you can then focus on stretching your income to meet those needs. manage your debt. Don't continue to accrue debt upon debt. Find a way to keep your spending within your income as much as possible. Let debt be the thing you go to as last resort, and build your emergency fund so that where you also need to quickly defray some other expenses that might affect your capacity to meet your debt obligation, you're able to do that very quickly. Please move to the next slide. Okay, retirement, everything that we've been doing, you're planning for your financial future, trying to put investments in place and all that is also to ensure that you have appropriate plan in place to take care of yourself at the time that you're retiring. Have your retirement plan clearly drawn out. Have a plan for your spendings, your monthly spendings at the point that you have retired, when money might not be coming as it used to be, and draw up a plan on how to save towards achieving that future that you desire for yourself. What are the kind of holidays you want to go for? What are the kind of lifestyle you want to live and all that? Put value to it and build your savings and investments so that at the end of the long-term investment maturity, you'll be getting, value that will align with the retirement plan that you have set out for yourself. Please move to the next slide. Okay, so in closing, I put here that is a quote that a good financial plan is a roadmap that shows us exactly how the choices we make today will affect your future. So I implore you, go back, take everything that we have said here today, look at your spendings, put up a budget, make investments so that you have a future, a brighter future, and you retire well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bumi. Thank you. If I was going to put that in one word, I would say that was truly enriching. Thank you. When you talked about the 50-30-20 rule, that for me particularly, I liked it. And I liked it because you said, apportioning according to where you are at different times in your journey. And you also mentioned that there's need also to revisit it from time to time, looking at your present realities. So I like that. Wow, so it's been wonderful so far, very wonderful so far. But I'd like to bring up our third speaker. That's our final speaker for today. Hello, Funto. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Funto. Funto, can you hear me? I just want
Sorry,
to
I was trying to unmute my mic. Oh, yes, I can hear you.
How are you today,
I can
Funto?
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm very well,
Yes,
thank you.
very
Good morning,
clearly,
and thank you
very
so much
clearly.
for having me.
Okay, we are glad to have you too. Funto will be guiding us on building self-confidence and self-love for a more fulfilling and empowered life. The floor is yours, Funto.
Thank you. Can I have my slide on? Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for having me here. Thank you to everyone for being here. I'm super, super excited. I don't know if I can share my slides, or is it going to be shared the background? Hello, Sandra.
I think it's already being shared. Can you see it?
Oh, yes, thank you. Well, yes, thank you so much. All right, yes, so like Olufemi said, I'll be sharing on building self-confidence for a more fulfilling and empowering life, right? And three major pillars on building your self-confidence, especially as a woman who is driven, who is, in business, who is building a career, who is in leadership, who just wants to get the best out of life. There's usually this bias about women who, once you get married and start having children, it feels like, oh, your life just starts to go on a downward slope. But that should not be your story. That should not be, your reality. There's so much more to you than, just living an ordinary life. And the major parts of that is building your self-confidence. So three major pillars for that is self-awareness, number one, number two, positive mindset, and then number three, self-care. So I'll just quickly go through these major pillars and then share some tips on how to build, self-confidence. Next slide, please. So yes, when it comes to self-awareness, what does this really mean? It means that you've been conscious really of, who you really are, understanding who you are, understanding what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what are the things that you like, what are the things that you don't like, what are the things that triggers you. Just having that conscious knowledge of who you are. A lot of times I find out that a lot of women, are not self-aware. They don't know what triggers them. They don't know what makes them happy. If I tell you to write 10 things that you enjoy doing, I'm sure by the time you write 5, you've exhausted the list because you've not really come to that place of, okay, these are the things that I really like doing. These are the places I enjoy. These are the people I enjoy being with. When I'm with these people, I'm happy, I'm joyful. I love who I am when I'm with these people. When I'm with these other people, I'm not really myself, right? So you need to be self-aware, right? Understanding both your strengths and weaknesses is the first step towards personal growth. So I wrote here 3 major ways to help you become self-aware. Something that I do a lot is journaling, right? Just in that art of writing, right? Writing to yourself, writing letters to yourself, writing about things that you like, just journaling your thoughts just helps you come into that place of consciousness. What am I thinking now? Why am I thinking this thought? Why, why did this think, why did this thought make me feel happier? Why did it make me feel sad? Or why did it trigger me? Just journaling. Journaling brings you to that state of consciousness where you're aware of what's really going on inside you, right? Number 2 is seeking constructive feedback. A lot of times we don't like feedback, but we can't grow if we don't take feedback from other people. We all have blind spots, right? You might think that you're doing something so well, but someone looking from another perspective might see how you can do better, right? So always be open to constructive feedback, right? And when you get that feedback, feedback, I always say that feedback is like when you lick lemon or lime, that initial shock at first. But yes, to shock you, you won't like it at first, but when you take it, right, you'll be better, right? So always seek constructive feedback. And number 3 is maintaining a state of stillness and mindfulness, especially for those of us who live in Lagos, the hustle and bustle, bread everywhere. You wake up, get up 5 a.m., go to work, all of that. You come back, you're tired, you have kids to take care of, And so sometimes it's so hard to just be still and be mindful and just be in that moment. That's something you have to consciously make an effort towards, right? Constantly make sure, even if it's just 10 minutes of your day, right, you're in that place where you're just still. You bring yourself, you center yourself, center your thoughts. Okay, what's happening in my mind right now? What am I feeling? Am I feeling happy? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling angry? Am I feeling envious? What's the description of what's happening on your inside? You need to come to that place of being conscious of taking moments of stillness in your day. So something that I do personally is morning, afternoon, and evening. I actually take 5 minutes morning, afternoon, and evening just to be in that place of just alone, just by myself, just still. So, can you hear me?
Yes, we lost you for a second, but it's fine now.
Please confirm if you can just say something.
Yes, there was some glitch.
Yes, my network. All right, thank you. So yes, just consciously taking time to maintain stillness. So that's under, that's all under, becoming self-aware. So journaling, so seeking constructive feedback, and then being still, taking times, moments, intentional moments where you're just still, right? And you're just in that internal place of asking yourself what's really going on inside me. And number 2 pillar is having a positive mindset. Having a positive mindset towards life is a game changer, right? I would say that having a positive mindset that is focused on possibilities, opportunities, and growth rather than obstacles and limitations, right? A lot of times, a lot of women go through life with this victim mentality. A lot of women go through life feeling like they are the victim. No, you're not a victim. You're more than a conqueror. Right? Always have that mindset that regardless of the challenges, something that I personally believe is challenges come to make us better. So anytime I go through a challenge, I'm asking, okay, if I'm going through this challenge and I'm going through this difficulty, that means there's something I need to learn that is going to take me to my next level. So your perspective has to change on how you see difficulties, how you see challenges, how you see, when things don't go your way. Like, what's the next thing? So let me give you a personal example. Last year, I applied for a course at Harvard Business School, right? After going through the application and all of that, eventually I got an email from them saying that, oh, I'm sorry, we're sorry, you did not get in at this time, blah, 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 blah. You know, I could have said, oh, why didn't they pick me, and start feeling bad and all of that. But guess what? Immediately I got the email, I didn't even message anybody, I didn't even call my husband, anything. I just went back to the Harvard Business School, website and looked for another course. Right, looked for another course and I applied again immediately. I applied for that course, and guess what? By the time they got back to me, they said, oh, congratulations, you are now on the waiting list for this course. Okay, waiting list doesn't exactly mean that I've gotten into the course, but I mean, that's progress, right? I did not sit down to have a pity party that, oh, they did not pick that immediately. Okay, if I didn't get this course, I can apply for another course that is similar to the one I applied for in the first place. And look at that, I got on the waiting list, and eventually I got a congratulations, we are expecting you, for this course, so. But guess what? Right now, today, this morning, I came for my visa application, right, for the course, to go to US for the course. And guess what? I was denied. But immediately I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to cry or anything. I'm not even going to do any pity party. Immediately I call, the person who has been helping me with the process. And okay, can I reapply? Immediately I put another process to reapply. So challenges will always come, but the question is, how are you going to how are you going to respond to the challenges? How are you going to respond to the obstacles, right? Those who actually do great things in life would encounter a lot of obstacles. It's how you navigate those obstacles that will determine, how well you do, right? So I wrote 3 major things as well here. Oh, someone says 2 minutes more for phone talk. All right. So 2 major things: practice gratitude. So regardless of what happens, just be grateful. Just be grateful. Gratitude opens up, your perspective to see other opportunities, right? Reframe negative thoughts. Don't think that, oh, when you get a rejection mail, for instance, that, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. No, you're good enough. You're all that you need to be, right? So reframe the negative. When negative thoughts come, like, oh, maybe you're not good enough. No, remind yourself that you're good enough, right? And then visualization and affirmation. What do you see, right? I have already seen myself in Harvard doing my course, and I don't care whether they've denied me now. They don't have a choice. They're going to give me, and once I apply again, I'm going to get it because I've already seen it. I'm there and I'm confessing it, declaring it. Do you see that? So that's a positive mindset. And then finally, on self-care. Self-care is not selfish. A lot of times, especially as women, we tend to take care of everybody but ourselves. So I want you to write this down in your writing. Self-care is not selfish. Self-care is the intentional actions and practices that maintain and improve your physical, mental, and emotional health. Right. So what are the things that you like to do and you enjoy doing that improve your physical, mental, and emotional health? For me, one thing that I do, for instance, once a month is that I go to the spa. I go to the spa, have my massage done, do my pedicure, do my hair, do everything. Just that place where I'm just by myself and I'm just being pampered. My body is being pampered, right? That might not be what you enjoy, but what do you enjoy? Maybe you like taking ice cream, right? So maybe you're on a diet, but who says once a month you cannot, splurge on yourself and take ice cream? If that will help you, help your mental state, help your, emotional state, whatever it is, just find what works for you and make sure that you're consistently taking care of yourself as you're taking care of others. A lot of time we put our businesses before ourselves, we put our careers before ourselves, we put our children, our family before ourselves. We forget that we cannot give what we don't have. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So if your cup is empty, you need to take time to fill it back, and that's what self-care is really about. So these 3 major pillars: self-awareness, positive mindset, and self-care, really shape how we grow in our confidence. Next slide, please. I know that I have 2 minutes, but I'll just try to see if I can rush. You can quickly go to the next slide. Next slide. So yes, on self-development, 3 tips for self-development. Number 1, yes, thank you. Appreciate yourself and your journey. You're on a different journey. You're not like anybody else. You know how our fingerprints are different. You're different from everybody. So appreciate your journey. Whatever your background looks like, whatever your journey is like, appreciate your own journey and embrace it. It's your story, it's your journey. Nobody can be youer than you. Nobody can be you like you, right? So appreciate yourself and appreciate your journey, right? By appreciating yourself and being grateful for what you have, appreciate yourself and be grateful for what you have accomplished so far. Don't look at your accomplishments and feel like, oh, you've not done so and so and so. Yeah, but what about the things that you've done? What about, the seemingly little things that you have achieved? Appreciate yourself that you hit those milestones, even though you're still on the way to hitting bigger milestones. So take a moment to always appreciate yourself, appreciate your journey, and appreciate where you currently are. Next slide. Change the way you look at failure. I always say that failure is a part of success, right? You have to have failed for you to become successful. If you look at the stories of so many successful people, great people, you will see that they have a history of failing, but when they failed, they didn't stay and sit in the pit of failure. They got up and went again, right? So change the way you see failure. Failure and setbacks are inevitable. We're always going to make mistakes because we're human. But the question is, what do you do with these mistakes? Don't let those mistakes now put you in that pit of, oh, I failed, so I can't do it again. That's not true. Then number 3, face your fears. Right? Whatever your fears are, some of us have fear of success, some of you have fear of failure, you have fear of what will people say. But heck, regardless of what would everybody say, question is, what do you really want? What do you really want? Go after it, regardless of how daunting you know. There's this phrase that says, do it afraid, right? Regardless of how you're really scared, how you're thinking, what other people's opinions are, just go ahead and do it. As long as you're sure that this goal is something that you really want to achieve. The more you go after what you want, the more you build your confidence. Next slide. Next slide, please. Sorry, back. There's one more slide. Okay. Yes, and finally, embrace a growth mindset. Embrace a growth mindset. A growth mindset is about believing that you can become better and improve yourself by learning from your mistakes. Always embrace a growth mindset. There's always room for more. There's always room for improvements, right? There's always room for you to do better. So even if you make a mistake, even if you failed, even if you didn't get the appointment, there's always room to grow, to be better, to take your learnings from the mistakes that you made and then go ahead and do better. And with this few points of mine, I hope that I've been able to convince you that really when you change your perspective on failure, when you face your fears, when you embrace a growth mindset, you're building your confidence and you're little by little, step by step, navigating towards living a truly empowered life. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Funso. Thank you very, very much. Your passion and the energy is actually contagious. Thank you so much. This has been an extremely, extremely amazing session. It's been enriching, to say the least. And I think to a very large extent, our speakers have, as much as possible, tried to be real and practical with us. I see a few questions on the Q&A tab. But before we go into that, I just want to tell us about the Alpha proposition. That's for those that probably do not know, and just as a reminder to even those that have heard about Alpha before. So what is Alpha? It's a platform that empowers Nigerian women from all walks of life to achieve their full potential. This platform offers 6 key pillars of support. One is savings and investment solutions, personal and professional development programs, access to financing, discounted healthcare plans, mentorship and coaching programs, and business and lifestyle discounts. You can see that even the talk that we've had today speaks to some of these pillars directly. This is a short introduction, and I'm sure that there's so much more that people would like to know. For more information about Alpha, please just send an email to alpha@unionbankng.com. That's alpha, ALPHER, @unionbankng.com. And we're here to support you on your journey to success. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. We'll take some questions now. I'm sure that our speakers are ready to go. So the first one is from Anonymous, and it's actually a feedback, and it says, nice presentation. Thank you for that. The second one is from Chinenye, and I think this is to Bumi. Bumi Chinenye is saying that 20% as savings is too small, though. With current inflation, that money will lose value fast. Why 20%? Over to you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the question. So I'll just remember when we're doing the presentation, I said that is like a general assumption that has been put up. However, by all means, ensure that at every point in time or for everybody, you align your budget allocation with your own current reality. I also mentioned that for some people, your need might be just 30% of your salary. Maybe people that are living with their parents, you're not paying rent, you're still getting some sort of support on feeding. So your own need might be 30%, your wants might be 10%, and then you are putting everything in savings and investments. So as much as possible, ensure that it is aligned with your own preference, your reality, and what you want for your future in terms of financial freedom. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Bumi. I think that is actually practical. So Anne, this next one is for you. Onolapo says, my question is for the first speaker, Anne. Should all opportunities be considered equally? If not, how can we differentiate?
Okay, just to take that question real quick. Now, before you start identifying opportunities, you need to know exactly what your goals are. What are you trying to achieve? You need to know exactly, is it a learning goal you're trying to achieve? Is it, do you want to start a new career? Do you want to move from your department or somewhere? You need to know exactly what your goals are. When you know what your goals are, then it's easy for you to know which opportunity to consider. Because you can't be considering every opportunity when you don't know what your goals are. Your goals have to align with the opportunity. When you know exactly what your goals are, then when you see opportunity, you know which one to consider based on your own goals. So it's more about knowing what you want to achieve and knowing what your goals are for you to be able to get the opportunity that you're looking for.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Anne. So Anonymous asked 2 questions. The first is, can you shed more light on how to find a good mentor? So would this be Anne or Funso? Who will take this?
I can take it. Funso, do you want to take it?
It's fine, Anne, you can take it.
Okay, so for me, a mentor can be anybody. And it also depends on the area where you're looking for mentorship. If, for example, I'm looking for mentorship I'm starting a new career, for example, like when I started my career in tech, I would be looking for people that I know that they are good in that area. And it doesn't have to be somebody that you know. It can be somebody, for example, I have people on LinkedIn that I follow. They are my mentors. They don't particularly know me that I'm their mentee, but I just watch what they do. And that alone shows that I'm learning from them. I'm seeing what they're doing. And that way, they are my mentors, but they don't really know. And your mentor can be anybody, like I said. It can be your friend. I have friends I call my data friends. When I'm struggling with a project, I call them and say, oh, are you able to solve this problem? It can be your colleagues, somebody that just has more knowledge in a particular area. So knowing exactly the area where you're looking for mentorship is what will make you know exactly who your mentors are. Somebody that is just more knowledgeable in a particular field than you can be your mentor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Anne. So there's a second part to that question.
Okay, the second part. Okay, let me just take the second part because I saw this one. Now, this one, when you say overcoming the laziness, I think this is supposed to be for Funto, right? Because she talked about journaling.
Yes.
I mean, you can go ahead.
Okay, I can go. Well, for me, this laziness is something that affects a lot of us. And it takes a lot of discipline for you to be able to. I was not the most organized person before, but it took me a lot of discipline, like being intentional about planning yourself. You can overcome laziness. You can say, okay, this is what I want to do. Like I said, I manage my time properly. Time is luxury for me. So I manage my time properly. And being able to identify what I want to do for the day, for example, write the task I want to achieve, organizing yourself. So you can overcome your laziness by being intentional, by planning, applying your time management skill, managing your time properly. That's one way to overcome laziness. And then, like I said, setting your goal. When you have a goal, that goal drives you towards every other thing. That goal pushes you, you know what you want to achieve. And when I'm talking about goal, it doesn't have to be a long-term goal. It can be a daily goal. Every day, what do you want to achieve today? Me, I don't like at the end of the day, I don't know what I've achieved in my day. So in the morning when I wake up, I set a plan, what I want to do for that day. So that would help you know exactly, write down your goals, put a time limit to everything, prioritize which one is more important. Prioritizing is something that I consider very important. So that way you know exactly that you're being moved by the goal, that's the things you want to achieve. And you will not see it as a chore, because once you know exactly what is driving you, you'll be able to overcome that laziness. Because of course, it's very easy to get lazy, but when you're moved by drive, you would be able to push yourself to do anything. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anne. So I see Funto clapping for you. So I want to believe that she doesn't have anything to add to this. You've answered the question very well. Just be deliberate, just go, just be deliberate about it. Okay, so Funto, this is for you, the next two questions. What is an appropriate way to celebrate your achievements?
I love it. I mean, anything that you enjoy doing. So personally for me, but to celebrate an achievement, either I do a personal perspective or I go to a fine dining restaurant. I love fine dining. So I go to a fine dining restaurant that I've been eyeing, that I've been saving for since, and I go and just splurge on it. I know we've talked about savings, but yes, as part of your savings, you also save for celebrating yourself, right? So I mean, I just do things that make me happy. Having a praise session with myself and my family, or just going to restaurants that I enjoy. You just find what works for you. Might be something as simple as I don't know, just maybe you enjoy shopping. Take yourself shopping, like you've been eyeing a phone and then you hit a major milestone. I remember when I hit a major milestone in 2023, I bought myself iPhone 14. iPhone 14 just came out that I took the money out of my savings and I bought the iPhone 14. I'm glad that I did. Like, there was a major milestone. So I mean, whatever works for you, just make sure that you take the time to actually celebrate your achievements.
Thank you, Funto. Before I read the next one, I just want to really appreciate you guys, because there's just a lot of balance here. So there's Bumi telling us how to save. There's Funto saying that, yes, please just strike a balance. Just find that, just want everything balanced, and I just love it. Okay, Funto. So this person wants to appreciate the speaker. That's Sandra Aino Badmos, wants to appreciate the speaker who spoke on self-care and self-awareness. I was feeling down regarding my visa application. I just withdrew my visa application due to late resumption. I was so disappointed and hating on myself after spending all my savings. You just lightened up. You just lightened me up with the right words. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, Bumi, I'm bringing you up now. It says, Chiamaka wants to know what strategies can be used to manage and reduce debt effectively.
Okay, so as much as possible, avoid taking debt to fund lifestyle as much as possible, because you then realize that even before you are rounding up with the payment of that debt, you already have another, need to fund something else. So as much as possible, save towards your lifestyle. Then where you need to get debt, let it be to something that adds value, so that as you have taken the debt and you are incurring interest on that debt, whatever you have secured that debt for is appreciating in terms of capital, and on the long run, you have some sort of balance between the appreciation in value of the assets you incur the debt for and the interest that you would have taken the debt for. And as much as possible, let your debt be within your income space. And when I mean income space, I don't mean that when you want to take debt, you put everything that is coming in into servicing that debt. You need to still ensure that your needs are taken out of your income, and some savings and some other portion for some other ones that might also not be need, but they are critical. Just like Funto has said, you need to have some funding that you have put in place to celebrate yourself at some milestone achievement. You need to have emergency fund that you have set aside. So on the long run, ensure that you have a budget allocation for debt servicing, and whatever debt you are taking is within that budget allocation. That way you will not be under pressure. You won't have so much debt that will put you under pressure that as your salary is coming in, you need to borrow to sustain the basic needs to get to the next salary. So if you do that, I think you will relatively be able to have a good financial lifestyle while you still have your debt that you're being serviced. Okay.
Bumi, thank you. Thank you for that very apt response. I'll be going back to Funto. Funto, I love self-care, but how do I care for myself with the pressure from work, life, and Nigeria?
I love it. I love that person's honesty. But the thing about, the thing about it is, first of all, it's your mindset. If you keep thinking that, Nigeria is so tough, if you thinking that there's so much pressure, everything is so hard, that's what you continually experience in your life. Your mindset is so key. If you focus on the pressure, you always see pressure. But if you focus on, okay, yes, there's a lot of pressure, but even in the midst of pressure, I can be at ease. I can take care of myself. I can create time. So it all boils down to also the intentionality. Yes, there's pressure and everything, but guess what? There's Saturdays sometimes, and maybe even Sundays after church. You've gone to church, your kids are settled or whatever. Maybe Sunday is shy. It's not a day that most companies or most organizations require you to go to the office every time. So what if one Sunday in a month, you know that, okay, this particular Sunday, maybe every third Sunday of the month, I'm going to intentionally take care of myself. I'm going to intentionally sit at home and maybe read a book, or intentionally sit at home and sleep, intentionally sit at home and binge on Netflix and popcorn and ice cream, right? You have to be that intentional, because the truth is, if you don't create the time, you will never find the time. You have to create it intentionally. It means, personally, for me, I include it in my calendar. So there are certain days that is already fixed in my calendar. If anybody asks me for an engagement or anything or a meeting on that day, it's already there. This is my self-care day. This is my self-care time between 12 to 2 on this particular day. I'm not available, right? So you have to be intentional about it. But first of all, you need to tweak your mindset about, yes, Nigeria is tough. But the truth is, there's no way that is not tough. Nigeria, there's pressure at work. There's no job that is, that is worth it, that will not be that there will not be pressure. But the question is, don't focus on the thing, rather is don't focus on the pressure, right? Focus on, how you choose to maintain a positive attitude and a positive mindset, regardless of the pressure, regardless of, what's happening in Nigeria. I hope that helps.
Yes, Funto, I want to believe that it does. And, the word that just keeps coming up at this session is being intentional, which means that, yes, those issues, those challenges, those things that, will be there. You just have to, aggressively say, I will, do this. So, yes, I believe that helps. But this is still for you. Anonymous is asking, is it possible to completely overcome self-doubt? If so, what steps can one take to achieve this?
Oh, yes, I believe that it's possible to completely overcome self-doubt. Even though, yes, for some people, it might take a longer process than others, right? Like, you just basically what I shared in my slide. Number one, be self-aware that, okay, this is really what you're dealing with. You're really always doubting yourself. There's that imposter syndrome, or maybe someone said something to you while you're growing up and you've held on to that thing, right? Just, yes, taking that right, also taking a moment to journal, to ask yourself questions. Why do I have self-doubt? Why am I doubting myself? Don't I have the qualifications? Is it because maybe I finished school with a third class and not a second class or a fourth class, or it's because I don't have a master's or all of that? Take time to ask yourself questions, to become more self-aware. When you're self-aware, when you are conscious of what you have and what you don't have, like I said, what your strengths are and your weakness, you're able to take intentional steps towards making your weaknesses become strengths, right? So if you know that, a weakness is I find it hard to show up for meetings on time. And when you show up for meetings on time or you show up late, it affects your whole day. Okay, what do I need to do to ensure that I show up earlier, right? Being conscious of that and then intentionally working towards it. So yes, like I said, it might take a longer process for some people and a shorter process, but it starts with becoming self-aware. Okay, this is why I'm dealing with so much doubt. I don't have this qualification. Oh, my colleagues, went to Harvard and they have MBA. I just went to last week. Okay, what can I do? Do I need to take another course? Okay, I can't afford, this other school. What are the other options? Okay, can I go to Lagos Business School? Can I go to, whatever? So just becoming that, becoming self-aware, becoming conscious of your strengths and your weakness, and then intentionally working towards improving your weakness will help you overcome self-doubt.
Okay, thank you, Fun. So before I let you go, I want you to respond to the ask from Sandra I know Badmus. She says, how can I navigate my potential? I don't know what I want at the age of 30. I feel left behind. It's funny because I think you just, so please, can you just take that as well?
I love it. Okay. It's interesting that, you're here at age 30. And first of all, I don't want you to feel bad. You know how they say, whatever time you wake up is your morning. So if you wake up at 30, if you wake up at 35, wake up at 40, as long as you have come to that realization that, oh, now I am 30 and I don't even know what I want to do in life, that's a good place. That's a good place that you're in. It's a good start. So don't even let that, that realization make you now start feeling bad or now making you feel like, oh, you've not achieved anything in your life, you're 30. No, that's a good place for you to start. Okay, now that you're 30, that's back to, okay, becoming self-aware, back to journaling. What are the things that you like? What are the things you really want to achieve in your life? What are your goals? So a major thing that helps is think back to when you were younger. How when we're all growing up, they'll always ask us, what do you want to be when you grow up? Children always say the truth, right? Is as they grow up that, life and circumstances just always, change our perspective and all of that. But that thing that you really wanted to be when you were a child is the thing that you most likely still want to be. I remember when I was a child, I used to say that I wanted to be an actress. I used to talk a lot. I mean, most of my report sheets in primary school, where you'll say Funtua is very brilliant, but she talks a lot. So I've always been a talker. I've always had sharp mouth, But, growing up, my parents are like, you can't be an actress, you can't do this, you have to. So I ended up studying accounting. Today, I'm not an accountant. I studied accounting for 5 years, so 4 years. I became a chartered accountant, but today I'm not doing anything with accounting, right? Last year, I acted my first major movie, right? When I was in school, I was in drama, I was acting. But those are the things, that's exactly what I said I wanted to be when I was younger, right? I wanted to be an actress, right? So I might not be a professional actress right now, but I'm doing the things that I'm passionate about. So ask yourself, what are the things that you're really passionate about? And where do you see yourself? So now that you're 30, I want to give you an assignment. Now that you're 30, after this seminar, after this webinar, I want you to take out your journal and actually write, where do I see myself today? Today is 25 of February 2025. Right where I see myself 25 of February 2035. That is in 10 years, and you'll be 40. So where do you see yourself exactly this day in 10 years? And I want you to actually write it down from what you are doing in the morning to afternoon to. And guess what? Imagining and dreaming is free. Visioning is free. So write out exactly what you see, what you want, what you desire, right? I did this exercise the very first time right after I finished my NYSC in 2011. And I did it for the next 5 years, right? So it was 2011, so I did for 2016. And guess what? When 2016 came, I had achieved 95% of everything that I wrote down, right? So it's not too late for you to.
So your mic is muted. Are you done?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yes, so just rounding up, like I said,
Okay.
please, I'd like you to do that assignment. Just where do you see yourself today, February 25, 2035? Write it all down. If you see yourself at the airport in New York, taking a flight to the Bahamas to celebrate, or to have a meeting with, whoever, and then in the afternoon, you are going to Dubai to meet with your friends and celebrate a major milestone, whatever. Dreaming is free. dream as big and as huge. Don't limit yourself by anything. Dream as huge and write it down. And I promise you, right, as you've written it down, the world, the universe will begin to align to make sure that it happens. I've seen that happen in my life several times. I know, remember I said I did it in 2011 for 2016. I did it again for 2024. And I've literally seen that most of what I imagine and write down actually comes to pass. So a lot of time, journaling is not just because we just want to write. Journaling is like giving your imaginations, your vision, real estate in real life, right? You know, so how you buy a property and you have real estate on land, right? Writing your vision, writing your dream is like giving it real estate in reality. So write it down. Thank you. I hope that helps.
Yes, it does. Thank you. Thank you, Funto. That was extensive. There are two more questions that I would like us to take. One to Anne and the other to Bumi. And I would implore them to please, use 2 minutes each. I think we'll start with Bumi. Anonymous says, good day. Please, as a married woman, is it wise to save with my husband?
Okay, thank you. So that's totally dependent on the mutual understanding and the trust, the level of trust between the two parties. So if based on your relationship, you think it is safe to have a savings account, a common account to your spouse, by all means, you can do that. Another way also to ensure that your savings with your partner is secured is to have control, dual control. So even if you are saving, if you have comfort in saving with your partner, you are putting funds together, you can have dual control that ensures that no one party would have access to the money behind the other party. So just to summarize, I think it's totally dependent, or it's advisable if you trust your partner enough with management of fund. You also don't want to put money in an account with a partner that will go behind you and use the money outside of whatever you have agreed to put money together for. So yeah, if you're comfortable with your partner enough, if you have the mutual trust and respect for each other, and if you can put in place the dual control to ensure that you are consulted before any money goes out of the account, by all means, you can save with your partner. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bumi. Thank you. Anne, I'm going to put 2 questions in one, and I'm only giving you 2 minutes to respond to both. So Oluchi says, I just moved to a new role as tendering administrator. Please, what do I stand to benefit from this training? Omolola says, thank you to all the speakers. I have learned a lot in the little time I joined. I like the aspect of self-awareness that was taken. My question is to Anne, because I joined this meeting because I saw in the flyer that she's a healthcare data analyst. This since is my desired goal, but I feel I have relaxed a little. I need help on advice she can give me on how to become one. I took the data analytics course in 2023, Power BI, MR's SQL and Google Sheets are the tools I was taught on, and I have a degree on biochemistry, but I feel stuck since after the data analytics course, like I don't know enough and I don't know what to do. Please, what advice or help can she render? And when you are done, just give us your LinkedIn so that people can engage with you. But if you can just answer these 2 questions quickly. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. There was one question that I saw that somebody also asked that was for me. The person was asking if it's easy to start a career in data analytics. So I'll just take all 3 of them together. Now, the first one, I can't say it's easy or it's hard to start a career in data analytics because it's neither easy nor hard. It all depends on what your motive is or your determination. You can do well in it depending on whatever area you come from. In my master's, I did statistics, and I was so scared of statistics because throughout my bachelor's degree or before then, I did not like statistics at all. But in my master's, I was determined to not fail. And I ended up having an A in statistics because of the amount of time I put in learning more about it. And today, I'm doing very well in statistics, and I'm even getting jobs because of my statistical skills. So you can do well in anything because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you're coming from or what you think you don't have. It's not easy, it's not hard. You just need to be determined and intentional about learning the skill for you to be able to do well in it. Now, for the person that said tendering administrator, yes, you can find out what you want to do. Now, the data analytics pathway is very broad, and I had a masterclass about this just last week. There are different types of analysts in whatever area you work. So you need to find out how you can transfer the skills you have as a tendering administrator into analytics. Analytics is everywhere now in every sector. So you need to know how you can transfer those skills to the data role by identifying your other skills. Being a data analyst, you don't need only just your technical skills, you need other soft skills. So I'm not so sure about this, your job role, what a tendering administrator does. Maybe if I knew more about it, I'll be able to talk about it to know what skills you can transfer. But you need to identify what skills you have in this your roles, in this your current role that you can transfer to the role as a data analyst. Now, to the last one, this person, Omolola, you sound like you need a mentor, to be honest. I think you need a mentor, you need some kind of mentoring. So if you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, maybe we can take it from there, because based on the fact that I always tell people, doing training is not what will make you a data analyst or a healthcare analyst. You need to build on your skills. You need to find out, get platforms where you can do internships, work experience, or things like that that will help you build your skills. You need to practice, because now this training that you did in 2023, because you haven't practiced since then, you might have forgotten some things that you learned there. So you need to start building back on those skills, start learning and start practicing for you to go back to being better in them. And then you need to also now know how you can transfer your skills in biochemistry to the analytics. So you need, what I would suggest to you is getting a mentor that can guide you, someone that has experience. So like I said, if you can reach out to me, we can take it from there. So that's just what I'll say for now. Thank you.
Did you give us your LinkedIn page?
Can I post it? Let me just post it in the answer. Yes. It's been posted here, but I can still, it's already been posted in the answer page. I can see it there.
Okay. Bumi and Funto would appreciate if you can do the same. So once again, I need to thank these three remarkable women for their time, for coming to speak to us the heartfelt conversations that we have had today. Going by the feedback that we have on the screen, I can see that for a lot of people, this has actually been inspiring and impactful. We're not able to take any more questions now. We need to wrap up. If your question was unanswered, please, or you have any inquiries at all as regards the platform Alpha or any of the things that we've spoken about at this session, please don't hesitate to send the email, like I mentioned before, to alpha@unionbankng.com. It's been an inspiring time. I hope you feel as empowered and equipped with the knowledge that has been shared here to accelerate your growth. And till we come your way next time, I want to say a very, very big thank you. I also want to implore us, if you can just do it right away, please bring out your phones and follow Alpha on Instagram. It's just at Alpha Woman on Instagram. Thank you once again and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.